Close your eyes for a moment and imagine living a life where a complete stranger, someone who knows your deepest secrets, your unspoken regrets, and your hidden desires, followed you around every single day. They watch you put on your morning mask. They see you fake a smile at work. They watch you pretend everything is fine when, in reality, you feel like you are slowly falling apart. Now imagine that this stranger has unrestricted access to your mind, but they don't speak your language. They can't just walk up and tell you the truth. So, instead, they wait until you turn off the lights, drift off to sleep, and they project bizarre, terrifying, and sometimes beautiful movies directly onto the theater of your mind. This isn't a horror movie. It is your nightly reality. Every single night, Carl Jung argued, a part of your mind bypasses your ego, shatters your defenses, and attempts to tell you exactly who you are. We dismiss our dreams as random firing neurons, leftover pizza, or meaningless static. But to Jung, the dream is not a deception. It is the most unvarnished, naked truth about your psyche. If you want to understand why you are stuck, why you keep repeating the same self-destructive patterns, or what your life is actually calling you to do, you have to stop ignoring your dreams. Let's look at how to decode the hidden messages of your own sleeping mind. To understand dreams, we first have to understand the trap of daily consciousness. As we walk through the world, we construct an identity. We build a persona, the polite, functional, socially acceptable version of ourselves. We convince ourselves that we are entirely kind, completely rational, always in control, and perfectly fine. But consciousness is incredibly narrow. It can only hold a tiny fraction of who we actually are. The rest of our mind, our fears, our untapped potential, our raw instincts, and our darker impulses, is pushed into the unconscious. Jung suggested that the psyche operates on a principle of compensation. If your waking life is completely out of balance, your dreams will swing the pendulum violently in the other direction. If you spend your waking hours acting like a timid doormat, terrified of conflict, your dreams might feature you as a raging warrior tearing down walls. If you walk around with an inflated ego, believing you are untouchable, your dreams will stage a sudden, catastrophic fall. Your dreams are not trying to punish you. They're trying to restore sanity. They're the alarm clock ringing when your conscious mind has fallen asleep at the wheel. When your waking life is built on a lie, your dreams become the relentless truth teller. One of the biggest mistakes people make when analyzing their dreams is taking them literally. You dream that your boss is chasing you with a knife, so you wake up convinced your boss is out to get you. You dream of a tidal wave, and you spend the day waiting for a disaster. Jung had a radical, much more uncomfortable view of dream interpretation. Every single figure in your dream is an aspect of your own psyche. Let's break down the primary players that show up in your sleep. The shadow. This is the dark twin. It represents everything you have repressed, denied, or judged as bad about yourself. If you dream of a menacing, shady character lurking in the shadows, that isn't a premonition of a break-in. That is your own suppressed anger, jealousy, or ambition knocking on the door. Jung famously noted, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. The Anima and Animus. If you are a man, your dreams will frequently feature an inner feminine figure, the Anima. If you are a woman, you will encounter an inner masculine figure, the Animus. How you interact with this figure in your dream reveals how integrated you are. Are you fighting them, running from them, falling in love? This indicates how well you are balancing your internal opposites. The shadow beasts. Sometimes, dreams feature wild, aggressive, or strange animals. These represent our instinctual nature. A caged tiger might represent your raw, untamed vitality that you've locked away behind a desk job and polite manners. When you wake up from a bizarre dream, the question shouldn't be, what does this mean about the world? The question must be, what part of myself am I projecting onto this character? Beyond your personal memories and repressed emotions, Jung discovered something deeper in the sleeping mind, ancient, universal patterns that belong to all of humanity across all time and geography. He called these archetypes. Have you ever had a dream that felt different for the rest? A dream that felt heavy, mythic, or ancient? A dream where you were suddenly standing in a cosmic temple, facing a primordial ocean, or navigating an impossible labyrinth? Those are archetypal dreams. When the personal unconscious isn't enough to wake you up, the deep collective unconscious steps in. It taps into the shared blueprint of the human experience. The wise old man or woman. You might encounter a sage figure, a mentor, or an ancient elder offering profound, simple clarity during a moment of deep life crisis. This is the archetype of deep, transpersonal wisdom bubbling up from within your own mind. The Great Mother, a dream of being swallowed by a cave, protected by a vast forest, or drowned by an ocean. It represents the duality of nature, both fiercely creative and utterly destructive. The apocalypse or rebirth, dreams of global destruction, collapsing buildings, or emerging from a tomb. These rarely mean the end of the world. They signify a violent, necessary death of an old identity. The psyche is clearing out the old infrastructure to make room for a new version of you. When an archetype visits you in a dream, it is a sign that you are participating in a timeless human drama. You're not just struggling with a career choice or a relationship. You are living out a mythic transition. If you pay attention to your dreams over months or years, you'll begin to notice an evolutionary arc. At first, your dreams are chaotic, filled with nightmares, running, and confusion, reflecting a deeply fragmented, unconscious life. As you start facing your shadow and integrating your unacknowledged traits, the dreams become slightly more coherent. And finally, as you near a state of deep psychological integration, Jung observed a very specific symbol appearing again and again: the mandala. Mandalas are circular, highly symmetrical designs. In dreams, they might appear as a glowing wheel, a walled city, a circular garden, or an intricate geometric pattern. To Jung, the mandala is the ultimate symbol of the self, not the tiny, fragile ego that you identify with, but the massive, unified center of your entire psychological universe. When you dream of a mandala, it is your psyche's way of saying, you are arriving at the center. The pieces are coming together. You are becoming whole. It is the visual representation of peace, order, and absolute integration. If your first instinct when waking up is to Google, what does dreaming about teeth falling out mean? You're walking into a trap. Commercial dream dictionaries are the antithesis of Jungian psychology. They assume a universal symbol means the exact same thing for every single person. But a snake in a dream means something entirely different for a zookeeper than it does for someone with a severe phobia. A car represents control and direction, but crashing it means something different if you are a passenger in your own life versus the driver. If you want to unlock the truth your dreams are holding, you have to do the work yourself. Here is the exact, practical method Jung proposed. Write it down immediately. Dreams are incredibly volatile. If you don't write them down the second you wake up, the rational morning ego will dissolve them like mist. Keep a notebook right by your bed. Strip away the context. Write down the dream in painstaking detail, but strip away your waking assumptions. What was the exact emotional tone? Fear? Awe? Sadness? Disgust? The amplification method Instead of looking up a symbol, ask yourself what that symbol means to you. If a bridge appears, what does a bridge represent in your personal life history? Ask the crucial question. Look at the dream as a whole and ask, what is this dream trying to balance out? What is my waking self completely blind to right now? Treat your dreams like a developing photograph. You have to give them time in the darkroom of your mind for the image to slowly, clearly emerge. We spend our lives looking outward. We curate our social media, we manage our reputations, we polish our resumes, and we defend our egos against every slight. We become absolute strangers to the one place we actually inhabit, our own inner world. Your dreams are the unyielding mirror. They do not care about your bank account, your social status, or the lies you tell yourself to get through the day. They will drag your shadow into the light. They will confront you with your dependencies. They will show you where you are weak and where your hidden gold lies buried. To look at your dreams is to take the ultimate red pill. It is the realization that the greatest adventure and the deepest truth isn't out there in the world. It is waiting for you the moment you close your eyes. Pay attention to the dark. It has been waiting to introduce you to yourself.